Use left or right buttons to navigate. Swipe left or right to navigate. You may have heard, John Tavares becomes an unrestricted free agent July 1st, that is, if he does not resign with the Islanders before that point. But if Tavares does indeed reach the 1st of July without signing, he likely becomes the best player ever to reach UFA status under the current free agent setup and salary cap era. So, while Tavares is the easy choice to top the list of UFA forwards this summer, there are still plenty of solid players with a variety of skill sets, from snipers to grinders and everything in between. Here is Sporting News' list of the top 15 unrestricted free agent forwards for 2018. Getty Images. After 9 years with the Islanders, John Tavares is down to his final days of deciding if he will remain with the team that made him the top overall pick in the 2009 draft or become the most sought-after free agent in the salary cap era. Tavares, 28 in September, has 621 points in 669 career games and is coming off the second-best defensive season of his career with 37 goals and 84 points. Can you imagine what he'd accomplish with a true contender finally? We may soon find out. Getty Images. Pretty much every team in the league can use a high-end center, and, after John Tavares, Paul Stastny is the next best option this summer. A great fit in St. Louis. Stastny was a great fit in Winnipeg after a trade deadline deal, and he'd be a terrific fit with any number of teams. He's a skilled playmaker, solid playoff performer, veteran leader and quality locker room presence, and comes off a 53-point season at age 32. Getty Images. He is 35 years old and has not played an NHL game since the 2012-13 season, but Ilya Kovalchuk still has that it factor as a goal-scoring machine and will draw much interest after leaving the KHL this spring. He is no longer the 40 to 50 goal a year player he was in his prime with the Thrashers and Devils, but Kovalchuk did score 32 and 31 goals the past 2 years, in 113 games total, in Russia. Getty Images. Mike Babcock did a terrific job spotting James Van Riemsdyk in advantageous ways this past season, so even though his ice time was lower, JVR scored a career-high 36 goals. He just turned 29, has 201 goals in 609 career games, 5 seasons of 20 goals and is a solid power play producer. Getty Images. James Neal has scored 20 goals or more in each of the last 10 seasons, or put another way, in every season of his NHL career. Not many players match that consistency. He had 25 goals this past season for Vegas, though he struggled to find the back of the net during the postseason. That won't matter come July 1st. His phone will be ringing. Getty Images. Rick Nash turns 34 in June and produced 36, 38, and 34 points the past 3 seasons, playing in 71 or fewer games in 4 of the last 5 non-lockout seasons. That said, the former first overall pick has 437 career goals and netted 21 for 2 teams this year. More importantly, he is a well-respected teammate and a hard-working two-way forward who still pops in some goals, and plays on both the power play and penalty-killing units. Getty Images. Joe Thornton turns 39 years of age the day after free agency begins. And he is coming off consecutive season-ending knee surgeries. That's a tough sell, but on a 1-year deal, this slick playmaking center might make sense for a contender because, when healthy, he still produces, especially on the power play. Getty Images. A right-hand shot center who consistently wins faceoffs, 32-year-old Tyler Bozak fills a different niche from some of the other centermen on this list. Though he fell from 55 points a year ago to 43 this season, Bozak still plays on both the power play and penalty kill and has 43 or more points in 4 of his last 5 seasons. Getty Images. Coming off consecutive 27-goal seasons, perhaps Michael Grabner should rank higher on this list. But while he thrived under Alain Vigneault's style in New York, Grabner looked completely out of sync in other systems, after the trade deadline last season with New Jersey and previously with the Maple Leafs before joining the Rangers in 2016-17. His speed is a game-changer and he is a solid penalty killer, who is still only 30 years old with 4 20-goal seasons on his resume. Getty Images. David Perron thrived in the desert this season, recording a career-best 50 assists and 66 points with Vegas, and is a solid point producer both at even strength and on the power play. One red flag is his lack of postseason production, 3 goals and 22 points in 56 career games, which continued this spring with the Golden Knights. Getty Images. Patrick Maroon scored 27 goals in 2016-17 and then notched a career-high 43 points this past season, split between the Oilers and Devils. He is a big net front presence who is solid on the power play with a reputation as an excellent teammate. The 30-year-old did not have a great playoff for New Jersey this spring, but does have a solid postseason record overall. Getty Images. Thomas Vanek has scored 20 or more goals 11 times in his career, including this past season when he potted 24 while splitting the season between Vancouver and Columbus. His 56 points were the most he produced in 4 seasons, and he remained a decent power play option at the age of 34. Vanek has played for 5 teams in the past 3 years, so he's used to adapting to new clubs and systems. And his scoring covers up other deficiencies in his game no matter where he lands. Getty Images. Blake Comeau is not a big goal scorer, but he remains a solid role player who turned into a key locker room lead with the Avalanche. Comeau, 32, plays a heavy game, is strong on the penalty kill and scored 13 goals and 34 points this season, in line with his typical numbers. Getty Images. Riley Nash established career highs across the board this season with the Bruins, with 15 goals, 26 assists, and 41 points. So, he is either a late bloomer at age 29, took advantage of opportunities to play in the top 6 because of injuries, or is destined to fall back to his typical 25-point production moving forward. However, Nash does a lot of little things well, not the least of which is his work on the PK. Getty Images. There are many options for the final spot in our top 15 list here, including Derek Ryan, Tomas Plekanec, Matt Calvert, Jay Beagle and Antoine Roussel, among others. But Derek Grant slots in at no. 15. The 28-year-old center is an above-average face-off man with good size and who is coming off a career-high 12 goals, 12 assists and 24 points with the Ducks. Grant may not equal those numbers again. He did, after all, own a shooting percentage of 18.5% this year, but is a solid enough role player to warrant interest around the league.